On this week's podcast, we take a trip down memory lane, don't we, Shelton?
We did. We went to a wedding, and we talked about also how Heather be long paragraph talking, but she really wanted bullet points. Yep.
Just listen to the episode, and you will hear about how we got together, and also you will hear Mike Shelton talking a lot.
No, I'm giving y'all the real Heather. Y'all let us know who spoke the most.
I want to know.
Because Heather swears that I talk the most. I feel like she talks the most.
I'm going to put a poll
So y'all
up.
let us know. Check out the podcast and hit us up. Welcome back, y'all, to Marriage Out Loud.
Welcome back to Marriage Out Loud.
Man, we are. This is our fourth one for the new season.
You keep trying to give the order, and we
No,
don't
I'm
know
telling
if
you.
that's the order it's
Listen,
gonna be
and you know what? I don't. But I know this is
I know
the
you
fourth
about to
one
say
that
what?
we shot.
Why she go about to say what? We're live in the Marriage Out Loud
We
studio.
are live in the Marriage Out
We're
Loud
not.
studios.
We're
And
not.
Well, as the recording, we're live.
We're recording.
We're right here, right now.
We're recording.
This is not
at the Marriage Out Loud.
What's that
studios.
thing when Tupac was on stage, but it wasn't him? It was
Hologram.
Yeah, this ain't no holograms. This is not a hologram of Marriage Uptown. I mean, Out Loud. That's the name of my barbershop, Marriage Uptown Barberhouse.
Plug.
No, but we have, plug. But we have got a lot of great feedback though thus far, and I love it because when you're gone for so long, like we was,
right,
you don't know. And so I'm glad that people was listening to the first few.
Tell me about the
sharing. People have been commenting, and it makes me confident.
It does. It makes you confident.
So confident, girl. I'm so confident right now in our marriage and in this marriage podcast that if God right now said, "I'm gonna send you to hell with a 5-ounce water pistol to put out the fire," I believe we could. That's how confident I am right now in this podcast.
The fact that you would have a 5-ounce water pistol
That's
in
all
hell
I need.
is just enough.
That's all I would need. Because if God said go, I feel confident. And I feel confident in what we're doing.
Because he told us to go.
He said go.
I love how we just brought that back.
G-O.
I like that every time we're somewhere, someone asks, like if I'm at church, my girl Iris, she'll just be like, Heather, where's the podcast?
Oh,
where's
man.
the podcast?
They be out
like
there.
People been like calling you, asking you because they heard about it.
Yeah.
Like people been wanting it, and so here we are.
And what's crazy, I've even had people saying, "Man, you need to bring me on. You need to put me on, bro. Me and my wife need to come and be a guest." And that's an option. That's something me and Heather thinking about for all of y'all. But this is the thing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That want to be a guest. Where the camera at? Right here. If you want to be on this podcast, you got to bring something to it. You can't just want to pop up and then get camera shy when TP throw that camera and them lights on you. You got to be like Hollywood ready, like me and Heather. You got to have a story. You got to have something to give to the audience. It ain't about just wanting to be on the camera. Because I can put your iPhone on you and put you on camera all day. So, yeah, it's been good. No, we've been getting a lot of feedback. I love it, though. I love it. What are you looking at like that for?
I'm just watching you tell stories, Bonnie.
No, I'm just
watching you tell stories, Bonnie.
No. You started anyway.
I just watch him tell stories, Bonnie.
Get us rolling, honey. You right. I'm over here. I'm that old man on the porch, just rocking on my chair, just coming up with
you just like this,
coming up with old war stories. Yeah.
Tell you about it.
I won't be him today. I'm not gonna be him today. Any other day I'm gonna be him, but not today.
Your stories are legendary.
But you hating on my stories right now. You
No,
don't want my stories.
I think that you give a lot of detail.
Thank you. I'm a very detailed person. I can't hate that. God made me detailed.
But I think they are sometimes unnecessary details and repetitive details.
Why you diss me in such a polite way? That's a polite diss.
I'm just saying.
No, that's a polite diss. That was the nicest diss I think I've ever had in my life.
What, that you give unnecessary details and they're repetitive?
You said your stories are really good, but you just give a lot of unnecessary details. So really what you're saying is you don't want the paragraphs and the run-on sentences. You want the bullet points.
Just like you asked me for.
That's right. That's what I tell
'cause
Heather all the time,
He don't
y'all.
drink his own Kool-Aid.
I don't.
He don't want to know nothing. He want to know the when, what, where, how of any situation.
Yeah,
and the why. No. Leave out the why.
Please.
He just want to know the who.
Yeah, what, when, where, and how. And
the when.
Man, get me out of there.
And the how.
Man.
Not the why.
Man.
Could care less about why this happened.
Well, because Heather, you a great storyteller. You are the greatest storyteller.
Okay,
I'm telling you, could have went to Hollywood and wrote scripts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's a good thing, not a bad thing. I see your face. That's not a diss. That right there was also a polite diss, but it wasn't a diss. You know what I'm saying? See how I gave your own medicine?
Yeah.
I gave your own medicine.
No, but I want you to start taking your own medicine and remember how you want only 4 things from me.
Come on.
I only want 4 from you.
Man, hey, say
because
less.
you will tell me everything about the barbershop, everything about the Jordan release, everything about the Razorback, everything about some random conspiracy theory that you done sold it.
Now, I didn't say I believed in conspiracy theory. I just thought that they were
he'd be
crazy.
like, now, who was there though, Heather?
Who was there?
Who was there, Heather? All we got to say is, no. I know what you saw, but who was there?
Yeah, who wasn't there?
I'm just saying though, that's your thing.
No, but yeah, I just you know.
So you do this,
I got you.
But then you want me to do this.
So what's so amazing about the intro to this podcast is,
what is it?
We just had a session. We just had a counseling session.
Without a counselor. Well, with TP.
TP in the building.
Yeah.
And we got this
lovely audience. And all he does is giggle, so I don't know. And we got
this lovely audience watching this. So, y'all, that right there is called Spitball and Marriage 101. This is why this is Marriage Out Loud. We are literally just out loud helped each other out. We both want bullet points. We do not want doggone run-on sentences and long paragraphs just to say that the sun came out today.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Let's get it rolling. Welcome to Marriage Out Loud.
But we are already rolling. I think we just helped some people.
Listen, one thing I love about you came prepared today.
I did.
You did, and I'm ready to get rolling with it.
But see, the way that podcasts roll is just a natural introduction, so we don't have to do these intros into every single thing. Every single turn we make, I'm making a right. I'm making a left.
Yeah.
I'm making a right. They just go.
Oh, okay.
They just go. Because you wanted me to get off that subject. And you do this in real life.
I do.
You do this in real life.
It's a deflection. It's a deflection. Because Heather's so good at getting on to me that I got to know when I need her to get off me. I just need her to know when to get off me.
So you just deflect. Recently, our brother got married.
Man, didn't he?
And I say our brother because that would be weird if we both had the same brother, but I don't like to call Uncle Jesse.
Well, yeah, we just don't want y'all to think we from Arkansas. That, you know what I'm saying? That, Arkansas had a bad reputation for many years, but we ain't on that.
We don't have the same brother. I just call his brother my brother because that's just what it is. Right. You don't have to put the other stuff in.
Shout out to Jesse.
Yes. So he just got married. And being at their wedding and seeing all of that just reminded us of our start.
When we go to weddings, it's always fun because you get to relive a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. In our first year of marriage, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's funny, I was talking to my brother the other day, just asking him how everything's going, you know what I mean? Now all the newness and the new car smell is off. They've been married now, living together for a month.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how everything going?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, now it's reality. He said, good, it's good. Like, nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But I just remember our first year was hard.
Yeah.
Our first year of marriage, man, listen, where my camera at? I'm gonna tell y'all right.
Well, I'm telling you, name your camera.
Man, listen,
name him,
I like my camera.
Because you keep asking for it.
I love my camera. Man, I'm telling y'all, man, like that first year of marriage, brother, sheesh.
I think you just like having a camera.
No, it was tough.
Was it?
Because the first year of marriage, you still trying to get to know each other. You only know each other when you dating because you doing what I call the weekend warrior stuff. You know what I mean? Where you just going and hanging out on the weekends and y'all kicking it and y'all going to your favorite restaurants and you're spending money and you're doing this and you're doing that, and then you get married and you move in with each other and you realize like, ooh-wee. I did not know that her closet is not our closet. Oh, that is her closet.
That's my closet.
That's when you know, ooh, he left a little bit of toothpaste.
Oh, no, not a little bit.
No. You ain't gonna do me like that.
And the watermarks all over the mirror.
But what I'm saying is you start seeing all the little things
that annoy you.
And it's almost like you are introduced to this new person.
Yeah, a different person.
Because we never, like you said, we never lived with each other beforehand. We never did none of that.
No.
We got married and we jumped on a plane, eloped, and went to Vegas.
Yes.
And came on back.
Yes.
And I moved in with Heather because I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Tell them.
Heather was self-sufficient.
I was.
She did not
Where's
need
my
me.
camera?
She did.
I was.
She did not need me to build her a house. She did not need me to buy her a house.
I already had a brand new
Listen,
one.
Heather
had a career.
You was in there. I did not have a career. I was at the UPS store working the front desk. What can Brown do for you? That was me. I was getting them packages gone. Them packages was in and out. Gone. They knew they need that thing overnighted. Who to holler at? That was me. I'm going to get your package there.
You going to get that package?
Loved it.
Yeah.
But when I ended up moving to your house from Asheville, North Carolina to Charlotte, North Carolina, I came with a box fan, a car, and about 70 pairs of shoes.
There was not 70.
There was a whole bunch of boxes.
There was not. There was some K-Swiss, and there was a
no, honey. That whole back seat.
There was some.
Maybe the boxes just felt like
polo
70.
boots.
Don't be hating on the polo boots, man. Them polo boots were hard. Don't you hate on my polo
And a
boots.
belt buckle that said Arkansas.
Oh, that was my championship buckle. Wore it all the time until I got married. Like I said,
and his gold grill.
Once I got married,
You forgot about your grill.
I couldn't wear my 16 gold teeth no more. I couldn't wear my Arkansas belt buckle no more. I couldn't even wear K-Swiss or polo boots. This young, beautiful lady went and bought me a whole outfit, a whole new wardrobe, whole new shoes. Said I had to get rid of the grill. I could only wear the grill when I was on tour. And it was a bad deal.
We're going to Cracker Barrel. Do we really need the grill?
Well, I'm trying to show all these crackers that they can wear gold teeth. It's okay. I'm trying to show them. I'm just trying to show them that I'm gonna be me. But my point is this: is that I moved in with Heather, who was this very, very, very independent woman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just remember, I never forget, man. I think our first big fight. I remember. I went from. I switched teams, y'all. I went from working at UPS. And I got a third shift job working at FedEx. I switched up.
He took that. He got some orange in him now.
Listen. Man, I switched up on FedEx on UPS so bad. I got me a job at the competitor. And I remember I was so happy. I came home, y'all. Y'all got to remember, I'm from Arkansas, right? And, you know, if you make $8 an hour in Arkansas, man, we thought we was balling back in 2002. You know what I mean? You thought you was doing something. I came home. I said, I got a job. She was like, word. She was happy, y'all. I got a job. She like, first thing she want to know, not the name of the company, not where it was located.
You want to know what
how
you
far
want
is
to
the
know.
drive? She said, how much money you making? I looked her dead in the eye with the most confidence I ever had in my life. So happy to deliver this news. I said, baby, they give me $9.50 an hour. And she looked at me, and I'm happy, y'all. This is the most money I ever made in an hour at a job. She looked at me, she said, that's it. And I said, yeah, what you mean that's it? We in there. She was like, nah, that ain't enough. She said, that might be enough for whenever you was single, but you got a wife now and all these bills.
And a mortgage.
And all this stuff. And I was just
cars.
like, dang. And so I just remember being so pissed. Like hell. And me and Heather, we can laugh about a lot of stuff now, y'all, because, you know, it's we've been married now almost 19 years, so you can go back and talk about something year one, and you can laugh at it. But had you said this in year one, y'all have been y'all have been fighting each other. And no, I'm just saying, because I remember I told you years later, I'll never forget that. It's a true story. We went through so much hell and fighting that first year. God, and I believe it was God to this day. I believe it was. That's why he's so good. He kept me blind to this thing this whole year, because I'd have took them up on the probably the what you call it, the annulment. Cause girl, we fought so much that first year. I'm just like,
you didn't even know.
I had no clue.
So if you hadn't known that there was an option for an annulment, it would have been.
And it went against our record.
No.
It went against our record.
No, an annulment doesn't go against the record.
No, I'm just saying because it was so hard. Because again, people think when you get married, because we watch so much Hollywood, that it's the big house, the picket fence, the dog. There's no fighting. It's just I come home from work and you're sitting there with dinner cooked and greet me with a kiss, like you've been waiting at the door like a little puppy for me all day, and you know what I'm saying? It's work, and I just don't know if I was really prepared for it. I just saw this beautiful woman. I'm just like, I need that, and I just didn't know what came with her. And you saw this handsome man, and you said, I need that, right? That ain't what happened?
That's not. No, it was a little different for me. Definitely a little different for me.
Expand. Or expound. I don't know. Expand. I need you to get bigger. Actually, no. Keep going smaller. I like you thinner. You like me thinner too.
Oh my gosh! I'm just saying that when we met, it wasn't. I didn't have any intentions to date you. I just was like, we're just friends.
Right.
You're funny.
Right.
I like talking to you because you're funny.
Yeah.
So I put, if you want to laugh, that was your name in my phone. Not Mike Shelton.
Oh, wow.
Not nothing.
Hold
it
on.
was if you want to laugh.
I never knew this my whole life.
Yeah.
So
if
you had
wanna
me
laugh.
saved not as Mike Shelton, not Big Dog,
No.
not handsome,
No.
not the man of my dreams.
No.
You had me literally saved if you want to laugh.
Yes.
Answer the phone. Like,
Yes.
I'm just a comedic hour.
Yes.
Like, if I want to laugh.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Like, so, I mean, because we were friends for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Does that make you mad?
No, it don't make me mad. I'm just like, I'm just a comedy sketch in your phone.
No, I mean, in the beginning, yes. In the
Wow.
beginning, I wasn't, like, because all you did was make me laugh. Like, it seemed like you got on the phone to just keep trying to make me laugh.
Yeah.
And then, finally, you were like, please let me take you on one day before I die.
I did say that.
Like, please let me take you on one day before I die. And it was so dramatic. And it was
Yeah.
so funny to me.
I had
was
a fake
like,
tear in my left eye, didn't blink.
I said, fine. I said, whatever, fine. Because it was like, you were so happy.
Man.
Like, to, like, show up. But
And what's
again,
crazy, you know how long it took me to text that to you? Because I remember.
How long?
It took a long time.
You were scared?
No, I wasn't scared, honey. I had to hit that 2 button 3 times to get that C. It was hard to text back in the day. You had to hit the 2 button 3 times
1,
to
2,
get that
3.
C.
Yeah,
then I had to hit the 2 button 1 time
These
for the A.
These kids don't know nothing about
they don't know nothing about
texting.
that.
Y'all don't know nothing about.
No, so I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then we went on a date, and it was fun. Mm-hmm. And then you were like, "Can I come back tomorrow?"
Come on now.
And then you kept coming back every day.
I was like one of them cats. You feed them one time.
Yes,
They keep pulling back up on
absolutely.
you.
You were a cat that came back to the door every day.
What kind of cat was her?
One of the little orange cats. The little sweet-
Garfield? Little Garfield out there.
I love orange cats. And so, yeah, you were a little orange cat. But it was great because it was like you just kept showing up. So that to me was endearing.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I wasn't interested in you like that. We were just friends. But every day you just want to hang out more and more. And then you kind of just grew on me.
Yeah, and I thought about like when we was at Jesse's wedding, just about like, I think I kind of relive what I said to you and what you said to me. Yeah. Because it kind of puts you back whenever you was at the altar.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And so like for me, I'm just reliving. I'm like, man, this is dope. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like 2 people starting their lives together. And it made me rethink about you. I'm just like, yo, like it's crazy. Like we was here one time, and now I'm looking out. I see Isaac, who's almost 15. We done made a son, and it just makes you just really realize it's like, man, like if somebody really wants to come together as one and be a unit, that they can really do it. Yeah. But it's gonna take. You got to just eliminate all the just like it's always gonna be great.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. Like, and I think too, just it made me grateful for really like for like a lot of our things that we've went through that we can set up. Because now, I mean, honestly, it's nuts that we're the OG marriage couple now that people talk to.
I know it doesn't feel that way.
And it don't. But at the same time, it's cool just because, God is using us in our marriage that we could have done left each other so many times over just our pride, over just dumb stuff. And we're actually like doing this thing. And so, because it's cool, the thing is like, you didn't have nobody to learn from in marriage. I didn't have nobody to learn from in marriage. So we're the first ones that truly, truly stay together and break certain, just stuff off our lives for the people that come after us to where,
generational
Isaac,
curses.
Yeah, Isaac, all he gonna know is
marriage.
Is marriage and a home with a father and a mother together.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And that's dope. You know what I mean? And so it makes me just think about like, man, like I'm so glad that we didn't, the times that we just felt like, yo, this is over with. We went to counseling and that counseling,
Isn't it weird though? Because you think about it and it's like neither one of us were ever abusive. We didn't cheat on each other. Right. It wasn't like either of the big things that you break up. Nobody's like doing things with money, like irresponsible.
No verbal
Nobody's
abuse,
doing
nothing.
Drugs, drinking. Like nothing's crazy happening. But it was really just our pride. Like it's really just like us being 2 people trying to learn to love each other and love each other for who we are.
Yeah.
And so we were like fighting because it's just like, no, change. No, change. You change. No, you change. And then when we both started to focus on, well, I can't control him. He can't control me. Well, I can control me. So now you start to work on yourself. And then you start to see the change that you want to see in your spouse or in your relationship when you start to look more inward.
Yeah.
Into like, because with looking back, I'm just like, oh my gosh, Heather, you're so controlling. Well, why were you so controlling? Because I was so afraid.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reason why I think women, I'm speaking to women mostly, because we want to make sure everything is right. We know the right way. We can multitask. We have a lot of great skill sets that men typically don't, like, they really focus on one thing. And so I always wanted to make sure everything was going to be right. And that's just not possible. Nothing is perfect. I'm not in control of anything. God is in control.
Yeah.
But I would never surrender that. It's like, no, it needs to be like this. It always has to be like this. And it's just like, no, there's several ways to get to the house.
Yeah.
We can go up I Street. We can go up down Walton. We can go down Regional. You know, like there's a million ways to get to the house. But I always know you got to go this one way, and that's just not it.
And it's not it. And I think the biggest thing is that I feel like on a daily that I think when we first got married, and I think a lot of couples that's been married for a while will agree with this, I think that you're easily offended almost.
Yeah.
Because, again, you don't really know that person until y'all commune together all the time. And then you have to kind of stand on what is a non-negotiable and what is negotiable. And then you got to make the decision, am I willing to die on this hill with this person and make this thing way bigger than what it really is? Mm-hmm. Or do I sit here and listen to them, catch their perception on it, and then I make a decision off of that rather than just like coming from that solo mentality, like this is how I've always been, this is how I've always done it. Well, then you should have just stayed single if you're gonna stay like that, think like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta ease up on some certain things. You know, like what was I gonna say? You know, one of the things, it's an old saying I heard the other day on a podcast. He said that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. You know, and so that's what you know. I feel like I've accomplished way more, and I went a whole lot further in 19 years with you per se than I could have ever done by myself. Yeah. Because you brought certain things out in me that, you know, that were always there, but they were hidden. But God needed you in my life, or He used you in my life, I should say, to speak to certain things and bring those out, and vice versa. And we made each other better as people. You know what I mean? That's where I stand on that, really. It's just...
That's good.
Yeah.
No, that's really good. I was thinking about how have we stayed together? Because I think some people are probably like, okay, yeah, we're in the same situation, but I don't really like my spouse. Like, they get on my nerves or this or that. Like, I'm thinking about a divorce or this or that. And I think for me, the reason why I've always stayed and, like, never... I'm like, no, I'm not getting divorced is because I got a word from God. And when God tells you that this is your person... it gives me confidence in the relationship, because it wasn't like I literally heard from God. I wasn't thinking He was my husband at all. 0%, nothing. I thought we was just kicking it, having a good time. And God told me 3 times, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, and once He told me, then I was open. I was like, I would never, like, Mike and I probably wouldn't have chosen each other in a normal setting. Like, we weren't each other's type. Like, we didn't even live in the same place.
Speak for yourself.
I grew up on the East Coast.
Speak for yourself.
Honey, you never dated a black girl. Never.
Heather, listen, you don't know everything that happened before you.
You told me. Mike, don't lie at the podcast.
I'm not gonna name them. I'm not gonna name them.
You're in front of TP.
I'm not gonna name them. But listen, I used to mess with a lot of black women. I didn't have a relationship like being with them, but I was with them.
You were never with.
Okay, we ain't gonna go. No. Let's look.
We're gonna digress if we go down this thing, because your definition of relationship is so loose and wrong.
Hey, so listen.
They wasn't his friend.
The Bible says that he that finds a wife finds a good thing. Now listen, He didn't say you was finding a perfect thing. Marriage is great, but it's only great when you have God in it. Yes. What's kept us together is the Lord. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you, because if it was up to my flesh, I'd have left. If it was up to Heather's flesh, she would have left. Straight up. Yes. But we say that we're honest about it, if we're just honest about it. But at the same time, people ask us all the time, like, what's kept y'all together? And it is our relationship with God. And it is that what God has done in our lives and the things that the Lord has promised Heather and I spoken. And at the end of the day, you got to realize anytime that God is trying to do something with a unit, the enemy's always going to come in and try to steal, kill, destroy that joy, everything. And so the thing is, for longevity, for those that believe in Christ, that don't believe in Christ, I'm just letting you know, like, there has to be something bigger than you.
Yes, it has to be bigger than you.
That holds you and keeps you together. And I'm talking to people that's been divorced, people that's been remarried, people that's single, people that's about to get married. There's only one thing that can truly keep you in unity.
Yeah.
And that's God.
Yeah, I believe that.
And you have to lean on that, because there's going to be times unity is not going to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a division.
Yeah.
It's not going to be always peaceful in your home. But you gotta call out to the peacemaker. And so those are the things that's kept us, and that I believe will keep everybody together. Because at the end of the day, as we've gotten older, we've had to relearn each other too. Because I'm not the same Mike. You're not the same Heather 19 years ago when I was 23.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's the thing, is that we have to evolve daily, because our needs change, our wants change. Everything about us changes on a daily basis. Like, we've even changed locations. We went from North Carolina to Arkansas. Like, life is different. So I can't treat you the same way and you treat me the same way based off of who we were 19 years ago.
And I think, too, you got to be, God is the one thing, but you can't be like, well, I just trust God, and then you don't work.
Right.
Because if you just trust God, because we do know, I mean, you see a lot of, like, Christian couples, like, they may stay married because of God, but their marriage is dead.
Right.
Because they don't love each other, they don't talk good to each other, they don't prefer each other, they don't lift each other up.
Well, and I'll say, because they know the word, but they're not actually putting action.
Right. So what you need to do is you need to actually, like, put in the work to learn your partner, to compromise, to figure out their wants and needs. And if you have God, it's easier to figure those things out, because you can go to him in prayer and ask him stuff versus coming up with your own.
Hey, and I'll say one more thing before we close. We need God in our marriages. We need God in our families. But we also have to have, on top of that, community. Yeah. You got to be connected with other like-minded marriage couples.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That way you can have, like, a mentor. You know, I got old people I go to. To this day, I'll hit up an old man. And when I say old man, Pastor Jerry, old as dirt. That's my dog. That's my father. He's like a father to me, for y'all that don't. So for y'all to know, I'm not dissing him. But I go to him and I ask questions, and I do this and I do that, because community is everything. And I think when you're out there just floating all by yourself, you know what I mean? The likelihood, the numbers aren't in your favor. But if you get in community with people and know that, hey, you know what? I don't have to run away. I can run to community, get advice, throw some things, spitball with them, do what I need to do, and then get prayer, and then come back. And 'cause again, it's a process. This thing ain't like just because you say amen and you prayed about it, it's over with. Like, no, like, it's work. And marriage is a job. I don't care what nobody say. It is a job. And so that's what, like I said, going to that wedding was beautiful. I was proud of my brother. I'll
say something about the community part, though. The community part, too, means not only, like, being around a community for them to help you, but, like, you are like the 5 people you hang out. You're most like the 5 people you hang out with. Yeah. So if you hang out with chicks that don't like their husbands, that's gonna jump on you, boo.
Come on.
Like, I promise you, if they don't love their husbands, or if they're cheating on their husbands, or if they always looking at the dude or the baddie daddy walking past.
The who?
Baddie daddies.
Okay, that's a new one.
Baddie daddies.
All right.
Baddie daddies.
Okay.
The baddie daddies in the gym, walking by, and they always catching, whatever. Are they a little flirty or whatever? Yeah. You're going to turn into that because you are surrounded yourself with that. Yeah. I surround myself with women who love their husbands, who are faithful to their husbands, who want their husbands, and who want to grow in marriage. If you don't want to grow in marriage, or if you ain't into marriage at all, or you don't really like him, I could still be your friend, but we not going to be hanging out, having dinner, talking all the time, because then that's going to jump on me 1,000. The same for dudes. If you hanging out with dudes that's always looking at chicks, BBLs. I promise you gonna start looking at chicks because it's gonna jump on you versus being around men who actually want to be with their girls. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So hang out with dudes that want to be married.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I know how I've changed too, man. Because and I'll say this, and I'm gonna let you end the show. I'm gonna let you land the plane after I say this. I know. Because this is the thing y'all got to understand. What's even sexy to you changes over time. And I'm going to tell y'all something that's so sexy about my wife. And I'm going to tell her right here on this podcast. It used to be her walking around, just walking around. used to be that, and it still is that if I'm just being real. Mm-hmm. But I think now that we've gotten older, I realize that like the things that the eye candy, I should say, is still eye candy. You still love that, right? Mm-hmm. But I think the thing that attracts me more to Heather is that when I wake up, I see her in there praying. Mm-hmm. I see you in there crying out to God. I see you in there just ugly boo-hoo crying to the Lord. You know what I mean? I see you in there reading the word. I see you in there taking notes. I see you in there just meditating and, you know, just going after God. And I think that right there is really what is most attractive to me now as a 42, almost 43-year-old man, rather than the 22-and-a-half-year-old, 23-year-old boy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because all I was chasing after was that flesh. Mm-hmm. Now I'm chasing after your spirit. Mm-hmm. And what you're chasing after. And I think that's what's really truly helped us, because we understand that, like, yo, it ain't just the physical things, because that thing's going to change over time.
Yes.
But it's just truly about loving one another, pouring into one another, and praying for one another, and building each other up on a spiritual level. Because the thing about it, the spiritual aspect is right. Mm-hmm. Everything else in our relationship is going to be right. Mm-hmm. Or at least close to right as it can be. You know what I mean? We're going to have a whole lot less fights than we are, you know what I mean, when we just out here moving and grooving. And so I love what you said about just being around. And that's even me. Like, all my friends that I kick it with, they're all married. Yeah. They're all faithful to their wives. They're all, they love their kids. They're a part of their kids' lives. I'm not kicking it with some of my partners back on the block. We don't have no
friends that we don't like. Like, I don't be like, I don't like when you go out with him. No, never. I don't like when you go out with her. Like, we don't have that, because it's like, the friends in our life could be friends with the both of us, because you want your friends to be like, oh, I like your wife, or I like your husband, not like, man, they don't never let you talking junk. Yeah. Who are you?
And I mean, shoot, none of my friends never say your wife never let you. They just know at 6 o'clock I'm shutting it down. I'm coming home. I'm not out kicking. I'm 42 and a half now. I don't need to.
But he goes when he goes.
I go when I want to go.
If he's going with his friends, it's not like, where you going and why you know? Because I got Life 360.
Yep.
I know everywhere.
Gonna land that plane, honey.
No, you didn't.
TP looked at us.
But he didn't wave his hand.
Oh, he did earlier. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all are going to marriageoutloud.com.
Yes, and
make sure that you are following
Marriage Out Loud to Marriage Out Loud
on all handles. That YouTube channel.
Yeah, Marriage Out Loud.
So it's all same, Marriage Out Loud. Make sure y'all checking us out. Please continue to share, like, comment, all of that stuff, man. Y'all don't understand how much that really helps get the word out. Yeah. Especially if you got some married friends or some peak friends that's finna get married, and you want them to watch something and to hear something wholesome, funny, something they can get out of it to actually, make their marriage dope. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we can.
This is it. Marriage Out Loud.
MarriageOutloud.com.
Let's go. See you next time.
Yep.